difficulties. As technical difficulties have meant that, yeah, it's someone by the name of Ginger Rage did not go into spectator mode. So yes, it's all my fault. Yeah. So we're now just waiting for the players then as we come to Paul Ricard. So on round 8 of the ALR Racing League, and if you notice that we got a bit of a change, haven't we, in the name? So it's a new brand, new era, but it's the same racing league, so same quality still, and yeah. So it's going to be all good fun here. So we're going into Q1 now. So we got 3 qualified sessions: Q1, Q2, and Q3. And of course, I would say that Q1 is basically not really important at this stage, because we've only got 15 drivers this week, which means that there's going to be no one knocked out of Q1. So really, as long as you don't crash or bin it, then you can get it, and you can get on with it. There is going to be a couple of going to go through a couple of the driver changes and everything like that in a minute. So the drivers are going to teach this after practice sessions, so this also gives me a good opportunity to welcome some new drivers, some new faces, and yeah, we'll go from there. So unfortunately we have lost the championship leader, Jochen, and of course Wesley, because Wesley caused a major accident in Canada, which costed NWBB on his debut what would have been an amazing race win. Instead, we got another debutant who won last time out in Canada, and that was of course Nigel. Nigel is a reserve driver, and he is driving in place of Gator Nation, as Gator is not with us this week. So he's celebrating Easter over in America. So yeah, Nigel is a reserve driver, but he is a very hot prospect for the future, isn't he, Nigel? I'm sure that one of the teams is going to definitely want to be interested in snapping up Nigel. As we're just looking at Southie. Southie 23 is a new driver as well, making his debut this weekend. We've got all sorts of drivers come through. In total, actually, I think we've had in total about 39 or 38 drivers that have raced in this league so far, which is astonishing. But of course, this is a new league, so we're still ironing out all the little kinks. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Remember, as we said though, so look at that, we've got a bit of a train already here in Paul Ricard, as we're watching double in the Ferrari going around. We got Grillsy, who's another debutant as well. Of course, he is driving the Mercedes. Mercedes have had, this is an interesting fact, Mercedes have had 7 drivers. I think that Grillsy will be the 8th driver this year. Incredible amount of drivers that the Mercedes had, as now Grillsy comes across the line, and so making his debut here in ALR Racing then. So as I said, keep stressing out, new brand, new era, and this is just the beginning, and hopefully we're hoping on expanding as well. As Grillsy's gone wide, I think the Renault might have distracted him there. I think that was Mr. Elite possibly. As we're just going to have a look down to see who we've got out on qualifying at the moment. As we said though, no one's going to get knocked out of Q1, so really these guys can just get into a rhythm. This is kind of a nice freebie, this is. So no pressure on anyone, this will be knocked out. As we're watching Bill to Matt, of course, in the Toro Rosso. And yeah, so yeah, unfortunately after the last week's events in Canada, we did lose. We lost 4 drivers, unfortunately, due to yeah, unfortunately Wesley's accident in going into NWBB. That's not really what we want to see here. So unfortunately he's left, and also the championship leader, as we said before, Jochen is left as well. We've also lost the Sauber driver of Venstra as well, who's also gone. As Asdog goes first at the moment, but that's quicker than by Dan, who is now going up faster still. So Asdog is now up into, down to second. Double is third. Godzilla fourth, and Bilton is fifth at the moment. He really hasn't shown his hand though, has he? On board is Southie now in the Williams, coming around the final couple of corners. As he comes across the line now, as there's a Mercedes right behind him. And Southie goes right up into second position and gets right out of the way of the Mercedes quite quickly. Hunter, of course, who is now technically the championship leader. He is, remember, he was a couple of points behind, ran wide there. NWBB, of course, should have won in Canada. Felt so sorry for him. As we're on board with another debutant of crazy. Look, this pit lane is very treacherous coming in and out, really. Yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. Hopefully it's just someone getting out of the way. So Crazy Hitman making his debut here as well in ALR. So we've got a lot of debutants here this weekend, and hopefully we'll be seeing them back. Quite often, as I think that he's on the Supersoft there. For some reason the graphics says he's on the Ultrasoft as he comes down the back straight now. We've got Force India in the background just weaving his tire. So here's Crazy then. Got a yellow flag in going into the chicane. So yeah, right then, let's go through the championship standings a bit quick then. Whilst so unfortunately, because we've lost a couple of drivers, that means that as it stood, Hunter was 31 points behind Jochen, but as Jochen really was the man to beat. But we now have some, and look at the traffic there, here, there and everywhere, isn't it? Oof. Crazy just having to weave his car in between. I don't think as I said before, this is basically a glorified practice session for these guys, just to get their groove on. Is Gunnar goes 7th in Renault. Broke Gorilla is on the Supersoft tires there, as we're now watching Crazy come across the line, and he's done a 1:33 yellow flag in sector 1, and Grillsy, who of course, as we said before, making his debut as well. He's 11th at the moment. He's done 1:47. That is not his true pace. I doubt. We're on board with Steve in the Ferrari, and here comes Nigel. Now Nigel won on his debut last week in Canada in fine style. An amazing debut for Nigel, and hopefully he can go from strength to strength. And yeah, definitely an amazing driver, one to watch. Nigel is, of course. Fortunately, got a very strong team. They normally have a strong team anyway, but they've got two very strong drivers this week. Of course, Gator, we're hoping the Gator Nation will be back next week as well. But Force India, a very consistent Gator Nation is. He's up quite high in the championship. So, as I keep saying, let's actually go through. The championship standings then. So Hunter is now leading the championship on 94 points. Second position is Prize. Prize is not here at the this week, so he's enjoying his holidays, his Easter holidays. But if he was racing here, it wouldn't make a difference in terms of who will be leading the championship, because Hunter's got a 31-point lead over Prize at the moment, and he's got a 32-point lead over Dan Murphy, who is now third in the championship. We've got Bilton in fourth. Fifth is Asdog. Then we've got Goomer 6th. Gator Nation 7th. Of course, driving the Force India, not here this week. So we're still on board with Nigel, going through the last couple of corners. He's on the Ultrasoft tyres. DRS is open, and that has gone right up to first of 1:30.8. He's 2/10 quicker than Dan Murphy at the moment, who is second on the grid. So Nigel getting in there straight away. So we're now watching Steve in the Ferrari. He's had very bad luck, hasn't he, so far this season? We're hoping it's we're hoping that his luck improves. Anyway, can on going down the championship. We've got Mr. Elite in 8th position in the Renault. 9th for this year is NWBB, and he's only done one race so far, and yeah, he should have won that race, to be fair. So NWBB and Nigel are going to have a great fight, I feel, in this race. But don't discount anyone else out. If Steve's gone wide again, that might be an invalidated lap. We've got 8 minutes to go. Well, 9 minutes to go. Twan in 10th position. Steve, as we said, in the Ferrari 11th. He's only on 6 points more. Broke Gorilla. Of course, he had success in another series earlier this week. He was crowned the champion and won the other online series. An impressive feat from Gorilla. And hopefully he can get some luck. He's only had 1 point so far. He's he struggled to get to the finish. He's been involved in accidents and been in the wrong place at the wrong time, hasn't he, Gorilla? But hopefully he can get himself in there. We've got, of course, Double is the last point scorer at the moment, who's in the second Ferrari, and he's on 1 point at the moment. So in the constructors' end, we got Red Bull leading at the moment, and they got 20 points difference between second place Toro Rosso. We got Force India in the third position. Mercedes with that cracking win in Canada from Nigel, Nigel's actually driving the Force India this week. But yeah, when he was driving the Mercedes last week, Mercedes have now gone up into fourth position in the championship, which has knocked down McLaren to fifth, Haas to sixth, Sauber to seventh. Renault at the moment is 8th. Ninth is Ferrari. They leapfrog Williams now, so Williams unfortunately on the bottom of the table. Stego's 8th fastest, just in front of his teammate, double by 3/10 of a second. So yeah, unfortunately Twan is not here either this week because he's damaged his steering wheel. So yeah, until he gets that fixed, he will not be racing. So, but I think the Sauber have got no drivers this week, so that's going to hurt them in the constructors as well. Because Renault, who are behind the Sauber in the constructors, will be able to could be able to leapfrog them. There's a bit of a points gap here. There's a 20 points gap though, so but it's definitely doable. So yeah, so we're just watching Steve go down. We've got a retirement as Grills out of this session, but I think he's just retired in the pit, so we're going to expect all the other guys to park it in a minute as well. Yeah, so we've had a lot of driver changes then over the past week, but hopefully the driver market will settle down now as Nigel has gone faster still at 130.6. He is looking peerless up to the front at the moment. As we're on board a crazy hitman. As this is his debut, of course. At the moment, Red Bull are leading the constructors, so he is unfortunately the only Red Bull participant this week. As JP, who was meant to be driving the second Red Bull, and of course he was very keen to enter the league, but unfortunately hasn't been able to make it this week. But hopefully we'll see him in the next race, which we're in Austria, I believe. So which is a completely different challenge to this Paul Ricard circuit. So unfortunately for JP, he will be in the hopefully he will be in the second Renault come Austria. Of course, we've got both the Renault drivers in here. We've got unfortunately we also in the second McLaren. We've only got one McLaren here this week, and that is NWBB. But we was expecting Morris to join NWBB in McLaren, but unfortunately I'm not sure what's going on. He couldn't make it either this week, and there might be room now, and I'm wondering if he might not even be in the league, which is unfortunate. So that would have been good. As now Crazy Hitman comes across the line. I think he's just trying to build up for a lap then. So at the moment then, we've got 5 minutes to go, and WBB is not worth going out. To be fair, I think that's we haven't seen any of these guys really attack the track yet, even though Nigel does look like he's another class of one at the moment, up there in first position. So yeah, great stuff. And of course we were hoping to see a Deathstorm back as well. He's taken a 2-week break as he's got other commitments, but hopefully we'll see a Deathstorm back as well, because he made his debut in Canada, didn't he? He was on the original starting grid he was meant to be on the original list for the 4-time seat in Mercedes, but he hasn't unfortunately he's been absent, but yeah, made his debut in Canada finally, but yeah, he'll be out for another 2 weeks, so he should be back at Silverstone, perhaps. Yeah, it should be Silverstone, the home of motorsport. So then, at the moment, then I would say we could potentially have a new pole sitter this week, because at the moment there's only one man who's been on pole position so far in this entire grid in this series, and that's Hunter. Great qualifying lap in Canada. Of course, the rain came down, and then I think the rain stopped actually, and Hunter judged it to perfection and went on to the dry tyres and was straight in there straight away and got on pole position, which was an amazing stuff. For us. We're watching Broke Gorilla now in the Williams. Williams are hoping to change their fortunes around and get up into the getting leapfrog Ferrari, as Ferrari are a point in front of him at the moment. Southie, who's Broke's new teammate, is right up there in third, looking very competitive at the moment. Southie is. So now what? We've got 3 minutes to go. As they're coming down the back straight, there's a chicane in the middle. As you can see, though, this is a test track. This is normally, as you can tell, with all the routes and things like that going on here at Paul Ricard. There's all sorts going everywhere. As we got a yellow flag in sector 3. Southie's out of qualifying. He's called it a day. Well, not out. He's out of Q1, but he will be back for Q2. As we're staying on board with Broke Gorilla in the Williams. Yeah, so Paul Ricard is usually a test track. This track's been around for quite a while, and of course it was refurbished recently, and for Formula 1 to come back, it's great to see Formula 1 back in France. But I must admit, I'm not a fan of Paul Ricard. I prefer the old Manicure track. That was a cracking track to drive. As Broke goes up into 9th position now. I think that these guys are just trying to get their eye in. They are not going to show their cards just yet. As I think we've got NWBBs out there now. Of course, this is the man who was cruelly denied a victory in Montreal last time out, but he's got the speed, hasn't he? Of course, he was driving in a Sauber last week, but now he's got a 4-time seat at McLaren, and ironically, he's replacing Wes and Godzilla the King. I'm not sure. I think he's gone into the wall somewhere, and he will be out of qualifying. Because if you wreck your car, that's it. You're done. And NWBB comes across the line, does a 1:29.8, and wow, it's putting the gauntlet right down. That is an amazing time from NWBB. Straight on it, straight away. He is 0.8 of a second quicker than Nigel. Wow. Well, that's proper. Well, that's just coming out to showing how it's done, lads. Great lap from NWBB with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining of this first qualifying session. Unfortunately, Godzilla's out, so we didn't see what happened there. You see that there's a lot of, you see on the outside all these like blue lines, and then you also see occasionally red lines as well. It's an abrasive surface to slow the cars down. So obviously the blue is abrasive, and then I think the red is like super abrasive, so it should slow the cars down. To be honest though, apart from turn 10, which is at the end of the straight, it is quite difficult to hit anything around here, but we are expecting turn 10 is going to be where most of the action will be happening. As we're just watching the man who's fastest at the moment coming on his in-lap. And so here are the positions then, with 25 seconds to go. Everyone is either in the pits or called it a day for Q1. NWBB is on pole position at the moment. Nigel second. So the two new guys are really showing the way, aren't they, at the moment? As you can see, that's the good thing about this track, isn't it? You can just basically cut most of the track, really, especially if you've run out of time or if you've got no fuel. Look on board footage here of NWBB. As you can see, he's just cut the whole of the track there, and his time might just be quicker than his qualifying time, which is impressive. Look at that horrible pit in here. It's sort of tight, and if you make one wrong mistake, then you'll be in the wall, and it doesn't look very clever. And of course, the exit, it feeds right out into turn 1. So these guys got to be on their game, so that so we don't have any major accidents going into turn 1. So NWBB pole, Nigel second, Dan Murphy is third, Southie fourth, making his this is his debut for Southie. Hunter is 5th, the championship leader. 6th position is Adsdog. 7th is Grillsey, making his debut as well. Bilton is 8th at the moment in the Toro Rosso. His teammate is not with him this weekend, so but they would like to try and cut into that Red Bull lead in the top of the constructors if they can. Mr. Elite is in 9th position. Steve 10th. Broke Gorilla 11th. 12th is Double. 13th is Crazy. 14th is Gooner. And 15th is Godzilla, but I think he's crashed the car, unfortunately, so he might not be able to take part in Q2. As we're on board now, see, look how tight this pit entrance is, and it's also quite a slow pit as well. I think it's 50 kilometers an hour. Normally it's 80 kilometers an hour, and that's in other circuits. But I think that the ones like Monaco and here, they are only 50 kilometers an hour. So yeah, unfortunately that was a bit of an anticlimactic Q1. But at least we've, to be honest, I give us enough time to go over the new branding, which we've now renamed our league. So yes, so now we are ALR Racing, and yes, but as we keep stressing, it's still going to be the same quality of racing, so don't worry about that. And also we went through some driver changes as well. So at the moment, crazy. Everyone qualified. Well, everyone did their running on the ultra soft tire, apart from Crazy, who did his on the super soft. So yeah, those guys are just getting an eye in there at the moment. Just having a look at the incidents and terminal damage then for Godzilla. So that's unfortunate for him. He will not be taking part in Q2, which means he will be starting from 15th. On the grid. You can definitely get some points from there. And to be honest, it's looking very dull out there at the moment. I wonder if we're going to get any rain. Of course, rain did affect the qualifying session in Canada a week ago, and what a qualifying session that was. As you can see, how many options of track you got there? There's so many. It's unreal. Anyway, now we're going into Q2 now. When we when it gets there. So now Q2, and this is where the action is going to really start. Of course, we are now looking to lose 4 drivers, as Godzilla's already out of contention. So we're going to lose 4 drivers then. Who is going to be knocked out then? And also in this session as well, it's very important to decide on what tyre choice you're going to have, because we've got 3 compounds of tyres like we do at every circuit. We've got the super soft, the ultra soft, and the soft tyre. Of course, the soft tyre is the longest lasting tyre, whilst the ultra soft will be the tyre which is the fastest, but will not last too long. I've got a couple of comments in the comment section. See, I'm a lot more organised than what I normally am. Of course, I think Twan has just asked how are we all doing today. Well, I'm doing great. Loving the bank holiday, not loving the weather so much. You know, being Ginger's a bit perilous at this time of year. I prefer the winter. And also we got Nathan saying he will qualify in Q2. Maybe not. As now then the drivers comes out on track then, so let's see what kind of tyres they're on. Well, obviously round and black, but let's see what the compounds are on. So Bilton is on the super soft tyre. We got Southie, of course, he's on the soft tyre, so that's going to be an interesting play. Trying to go long, his first stint is going to be long. And then here, I think a one stop is probably the best strategy around here, but the question is, can you keep up the pace? I try one stop quite a lot, and I'm just not quick enough to do the one stop. Yeah, so I might change my strategy when I next race and probably go for a 2-stop, because one stop is the quickest way, but you have to manage your tyres. You have to you have to manage your tyres and keep up the pace as well. So we're going to just take a look to see who's going to start a lap. Double in the Ferrari. We got Grillsy in the Mercedes. We got Hunter also in the Force India. As we're just taking a look to see who's actually closest to start their lap. I think it's going to be Bilton. No, then it's Double. So Double starts his first. So Double starts his lap. See, look at that. The pit exit is right on the racing line. You can see them. And he goes wide. Is that going to cost him? He's on the ultra soft tyres as well. Double is, and yeah, I wonder if he's invalidated his lap here. This track is very brutal on track limits, as if you run wide, then especially in turn 2, that's where you'll get a lot of the penalties. I reckon you'll get a lot of the yeah, I think Double's backed off there. So watching Guna go now. I think Bilton is the next man to come across the line. It's still very dull out there at the moment, but there's no rain at the moment. Question is, will there be rain? I unfortunately don't know, but that's what makes it more exciting. We've got a yellow flag in on the back straight. I think that is just, I think that was one of the Ferraris, isn't it, of cruising. It is double, yeah. So double in the Ferrari as he is right in the way, he moves out the way of Matt. Good stuff from double. So Matt then coming down in, so this is the tricky turn 10. You see that you go flat out here, but the rear of the car goes very light and it will spit you onto that inside wall if you ain't careful. I've done that many a time. So yeah. To be honest, a lot of great drivers have done that as well, though. So it's no shame to be in the wall, but well, it is really. I felt very ashamed to be in the wall, but yeah. So we're on board with Bilton, and in the Toro Rosso, the only Toro Rosso representative here this weekend, as Nosey, as we keep saying, is having a lovely holiday. I think that well then. DRS is now enabled, so what can Bilton do? Goes across the line, does a 32. Of course, his first lap time was not very representative. Hunter goes second on the soft tyre, and that's only 2/10 slower. What about Southey? Southey might have invalidated his lap, so it has to go again, but he's on the soft tyre, so that shouldn't be too bad, even though he wants to do as less time as possible. Crazy Hitman going very wide there in the final sector, and it's the second to last corner. Now into the last corner. Of course, Red Bull are on top of the constructors at the moment. Can they say that? And what's Crazy doing? At the moment, he is just starting his lap. So now we can see how well he will do as attack the track. NWBB in the McLaren, of course, scored on his debut. Should have got a podium or probably a win in Canada. But he comes across the line now, and he is slowed right down. I think he was just getting his eye in there to see how quick the tyres are. And even though he slowed right down there, he's still only just second fastest. So that just shows the pace this young man has. Incredible stuff from the McLaren driver. Barilla has gone fifth fastest on the super soft tyre in the Williams. Let's see who else is. Southey is now quickest, but Asdog goes quickest. As we've seen one of the cars off there. That's Grillsy then, who's taking a scenic route by the look around Paul Ricard. Which I think he's just trying to get out of everyone's way, which is good stuff from Grillsy. You need to have attention on the map. Even though you don't have an engineer, you do have a track map, which is as built and goes fast as steel with 1:31.5. This is the track is now starting to liven up a bit. As now Southey comes across the line, he's doing a 1:31.9 on the soft tyre, mind you. So built on the super soft. Look at that. That's how perilous that pit lane's going to be in this race. Double goes up into 7th position mode. He's on the ultra soft tyre, so Double going for the attack. As is NWBB, but I think NWBB will probably be coming back out and having a go on the soft tyre. Robert Crazy, he's up to 9th at the moment. He's also on the ultra softs as well. Crazy up into 9th in the Red Bull. As Gunnar goes 7th fastest, just behind his teammate. The two Renault boys are very equally matched to Mr. Elite and Gunnar. They're very close to each other on track. It's good stuff to see. So nice bit of friendly rivalry there. As Nigel's on his outlap as Dan Murphy. And Steve hasn't come out of the pitch yet, and yeah, we'll keep a close eye on this. Bilton is also coming on an in-lap. Asdog, great time there, 2:10 slower than Bilton, but that was his first lap. Bilton has done 2 laps on those tyres, so that might cause him a bit of difficulty in the race. Well, it shouldn't cause him too much, but yeah, it's not ideal. You need to have one lap really ideally on the super soft tyre, but then again they won't fall away as much. I don't think this is really this track is not very it's quite friendly to the tyres, to be honest. It's not like a Montreal kind of circuit where it just eats tyres, but yeah, you still want to do less laps on the better. As Asdog comes in, we've got Ferrari coming in the pits as well. So whilst that's going on, Nigel is now going to start his lap in the Force India. Of course, he's taken over from Gator Nation, the American driver who is not here this week. But Nigel, of course, who won last time out in Canada in fine style, he's gone wide. Is that going to... I wonder, has that invalidated his lap? He's still on it by the looks. As he's coming around to complete Sector 1 now. Of course, this track is also very heavy on the urge. So you see that he's in the hot lap at the moment, so that's what the 5 is down in the bottom corner. You see that there's like an electricity bolt with 5 next to it. And he is in hot lap. To be honest, you only use hot lap in qualifying. because in the race, I think if you want to overtake someone, then you use the overtake, because it will give you more power in less time, I believe. That's what I've been told. If that's not, then hopefully someone will correct me, which they probably will. Now coming through turn 10 now. Keeping it didn't even lift in turn 10, and that's brilliant stuff. That's how much downforce these cars have got. Excellent stuff. Nigel now coming into the final section now, and once Nigel's doing that, let's just take a look. There's Twan is saying that there's snow at home, but yeah, the grass is green and it's close to 20 degrees. Excellent stuff. I'm not a fan of the hot weather though. I prefer snow. And also, oh, isn't it pronounced newbie? Probably. Nigel goes fastest on 131.0. So Nigel right up there, laying the gauntlet down once again. Good stuff from Nigel. So we're watching Murphy now in the Haas. Of course, the American team, Haas, are the newest team on the grid in Formula 1. And they've got a lovely livery. Which, by the way, it didn't inspire our logo design at all. If you haven't seen our logo, check it out. Pretty good, if I say so myself. DRS is available as it comes across the line, and Murphy goes up to second. Dan Murphy is looking hungry for this weekend, isn't he? Look at that, right up there as well. He wants to get right up there in the championship. He can probably feel now that he does have a chance in the championship as well. But bear in mind, he did miss 2 races, didn't he? So he could have been even higher. And with Nosey not here this week as well, Murphy could really eat into Hunter's lead in the championship. Whatever happens this weekend, if Hunter doesn't score, he will still be leading the championship, as he's got a 31-point lead at the moment. But yeah, I think all we got to do is just take it race by race at the moment and worry about, and don't really look at the championship for now, which is probably what a lot of drivers say. But let's be honest, they don't. They all do look at the championship, don't they? As we're watching Grillsy now. So we've got under 5 minutes to go. This qualifying has been really quick as it comes across the line now. So Grillsy is going to start his lap now. We've got Steve, who's also on the out lap as well. Look at that, coming straight out in front. So Hunter goes right off the track. Very good stuff from Hunter there. Of course, our championship leader. And oh, Grillsy's gone wide. Is that invalidated his lap? See, he's got less than half hours already, hasn't he, Grillsy, in the Mercedes. Of course, Mercedes, as we said in the build-up, fun fact, that Mercedes had the most drivers so far this year, of 8 drivers. So hopefully it'll be a bit more stable now with Grillsy in the team, and of course Asdog as well is also in the team as well. And now, in terms of race starts, is I wonder if I just seen a time change up on the tower. Grillsy then navigating the chicane down, coming out of it. Beautiful stuff from Grillsy. Is now coming into the fast turn 10. And this is the infamous front turn 10, where yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. I think it's just traffic getting out of the way. On board with Grillsy now. This is a very fun part of the track. I must admit, as much as I'm not a fan of this track, but it's mainly because I'm just not very good around here, really. But it's definitely. It can be a fun track to drive. It's one of those where you love it or hate it. It's kind of like Marmite. I'm not really, I don't really like this track. Bring back Manicure. Unfortunately with Manicures though, it kind of was isolated. It's probably the main reason why it did drop off. Now Grillsy goes up into second position now. 5-10, half a second away from NWBB, but Grillsy showing some pace there. As we got NWBB just taking the scenic route. Now here comes Steve in the Ferrari at the moment. Both Ferraris are out of Q1, out of Q2 at the moment. So, but how is Steve? Steve hasn't actually set a time yet, and we still got 2 minutes and 40 to go. As he is navigating around to the final section now. So at the moment we have got Double out, Gooner out, Crazy out, and Steve out at the moment. But Mr. Elite is on the bubble, as is Broke Gorilla. As everyone is on the super soft tyre at the moment in the top 10, apart from Broke Gorilla, who's on the ultra soft. Of course, NWBB did slow down, I think, on his lap. So you can see he's run out of hers there, Steve did, but he is 6th fastest. So Steve's in. Mr. Elite is out of qualifying at the moment, and he's cutting it very late if he wants to come out again. So I think that should. Steve looks happy with that. Of course, he's sitting down the bottom now. That You're seeing on the bottom there that Steve ran out of the ERS, didn't he, just before we got to start line. And you see that Double is also draining his power as well. As he is now coming down into turn 10 now. You see, look at that, he's only got 20% left. He's of ERS. That's what we were saying about this track. It's just such an energy drainer. Car 99 is Double in the Ferrari. Ooh, is that a corner cut? I think it is a corner cut. So he's going. Is he still going for it? I think that if he didn't get a corner cut there, then that's he got away with it there. I thought I was going to corner cut personally, but then again, sometimes you get corner cuts or track extension when they're really not track extensions. But so Double now coming across. So he is coming in the pit. So unfortunately, that's it for Double. Mr. Elite is out on track now, so he's going to have to really get on with it. And Crazy is in the pits as well. So unfortunately, that's Crazy out. Gunnar is out, and also Double out at the moment as well. Who is going to? And Broken Gorilla is in the pit still. So if Mr. Elite can find a 10th, just over a 10th of a second, he will get into Q3. He will get into Q3 and will drop Broke out of Q3. We've got both Williamses in there at the moment because Williams are the bottom team in the constructors at the moment, as we said earlier. Unfortunately, also like that as it is in the real. Unfortunately for Williams, but hopefully they can turn their fortunes around. Of course, with Patrick Head now coming back in the team as a consultant, I believe. So as Mr. Elite is on the super soft tyre. You can see that basically everyone's got the same idea, aren't they? They're all on the super soft tyre. So Mr. Elite now coming across the line. Is he going to make it? Yeah, he should make it. He's got 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He just made it. That's great timing from Mr. Elite. Now here we go then. This is it. He has got, this is his last chance to get out of Q2. Is he going to knock Broke Gorilla out of Q2? He's gone wide. Is that it? He might have got away with that. He's still on for it. That was very lucky if we didn't get away with the, we didn't get away with track extension there, Mr. Elite. You can see then going slightly wide. Coming down the back straight. Hit the DRS right on the mark, so brilliant stuff. Now into the chicane, which is about halfway down that straight. The I remember the commentators of Martin Brundle and David Croft was saying that they should just make that one long straight really. And to be honest, I agree. That'd be amazing, long straight, wouldn't it? But yeah, I think they've probably put it there because of the grandstand really. As now he's in turn 10. Of course, that's going to be the perilous corner this week. We always have one perilous corner. I mean, last week we had the Wall of Champions. As a lot of people visited that particular wall. It was some high-profile names in that wall as well. So we are expecting probably quite a few that will be venturing into that wall as well, into the turn 10 wall. Now coming through the final couple of corners, we're back on board then with Mr. Elite. He comes across the line. It's getting very snaky coming out of the final corner, and he's called it a day. So Mr. Elite is out, unfortunately. Also out is Double, Gunnar, and Crazy Hitman. We have got no Red Bull in Q3 for the first time this season. And we've also got both Williamses right up there as well. Excellent stuff. I think that's so. Everyone is now. I thought I heard a car. There it is, Southie. He's just come across the line. He's gone a second quicker and moves himself up into third position there. So Southie looking very, very good in this. Very good at the moment, isn't he? Looking very comfortable as well. So of course, Southie is a rookie as such in this league anyway, and he's done very good and brilliant stuff up into third. So that's the end of Q2 then. Much more interesting than Q1 because unfortunately Q1 really no one went out, even though Godzilla did go out because unfortunately he found the wall. So out of Q2 then we got Mr. Elite, we got Double, we got Gunnar, and we got Hitman. The advantage that those guys have though is that they will all be they can all choose the tyres to start on. In the top 10, everyone will be starting on the super soft tyres, apart from Broke Gorilla, who will be on the ultra softs. Now he would have a good launch going down to turn 1 and 2. But unfortunately, the turn 1 and 2 has got a bit of a pinch zone, so you got to keep your nose clean, literally. Otherwise, otherwise your car might get damaged. Right, going into Q3 now then. And Todd just mentioned on the stream, of course, on YouTube, which is ALR Racing. Like, share, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. That'd be amazing. We have 23 subscribers at the moment. Very happy with that. Loving it. So yeah. Yeah, Todd on the yes, I did mention your award. I did mention, of course, Todd is Broke Gorilla, and yes, of course, he did have an amazing achievement earlier on in the week. Of course, he won in another series of Formula One, and brilliant stuff indeed. So he's basically our first champion technically. So well done to Broke Gorilla. Brilliant achievement there, and hopefully he can get some. Hopefully he can get rid of all this bad luck, because he seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. We've got both Mercedes coming out there straight away. We've got the Toro Rosso coming out, so everyone is out straight away. We've got 12 minutes of this Q3 session. Of course, it was extended, wasn't it, a couple of years ago, because they thought the 10 minutes was too short for places like Spa and well, they didn't race at Azerbaijan when they first extended it, but yeah, Azerbaijan is the second longest track on the calendar. Of course, the next race we're going to, it has the shortest lap time on the grid, as we're expecting 1 minute and 4 around there. So that's 64-second lap. It's incredible, isn't it? I'm watching Asdog at the moment. So this is the carnival of storm then. Who's going to get on pole? It's Southie making his debut. Is he going to get on pole position? It'd be great stuff if he does. The debutant. We're going to have Nigel though going on the pole as well. As I said before, only one man has took pole position in this qualifying session, and that was Hunter. A great strategy call in Canada. So we're going to get a new pole sitter, or is Hunter going to get his second pole position of his career? As we're watching Nigel, we've got Dan out there as well in the Haas. And WBB is probably one of the hot tips as well. I think him and Nigel are looking set for a battle royale, but I don't want to count Southie out, because he's looking very comfortable in that Williams, and yeah, looking forward to seeing what he can do as he turns it up. We've got Asdog out there as well. As we said with Broke Gorilla, he can never just count this man out either in the Williams. And Hunter now comes out of the pits now. So who is going to start that lap first? As I'm just having a look. I think it should be one Mercedes, I think. So Asdog is first. So just in a glimpse somewhere. Sorry to flick it all around then. So Asdog is the first man then to go out then and set a time. So remember that everyone we've got a new set of tyres now. He's gone across the line. Is that a track extension now? He'll fly in sector 1. It is, I think it's Hunter, I believe, in the Force India. Look at that. Bit of snap of oversteer there. He was going the wrong way for a minute there. We've got Toro Rosso behind as well. He should be far enough behind so that he doesn't have a issue with dirty air. Now coming down to the long back straight now. Asdog number 69 in the Mercedes. Mercedes have jumped right up to 4th in the constructors now, because they great debut for Nigel, but also Asdog as well, showing very good consistency. So that's why Mercedes have gone up into the top 4 in the constructors. But you'll find in sector 2. I'm not sure if Asdog is as he comes down into turn 10 now. Of course, we got, I think that was a Toro Rosso. Unfortunately, there's only one Toro Rosso this week. We got no Saubers in the race, which is unfortunate. As we said before, Twan's damaged his wheel, and yeah, I think he said that if he was on the pad, then he might cause a bit of a major accident. Well, like Spa, for example, in '98. Whoa, what an accident that was! I always remember that race. One of my favourite ever races, Spa in '98. Of course, where Jordan won the first Grand Prix. So Asdog comes across the line now. He's on pole position moment. So well done to Asdog. Bilton coming through now in second position. And the Toro Rosso, he's on 1:31.4. Southie is on a lap. So we got everyone on a lap. So we got Dan, who goes fastest in the Haas. He's a 10th quicker than Asdog. On board with Nigel. What does Nigel do? He's in pole position at the moment. He's got a 3-second gap over Murphy, who is second now. Southie has abandoned his lap, has come in the pit, as is MWBB. What about Gorilla? Comes across the line, and I think he might have invalidated his lap, unfortunately. So we're also Hunter and Grillsy is also invalidated his lap. So unfortunately, we've only had 4 people that have set a time so far after that first run. As we said before, it's very, very difficult not to get a track extension on this track. Definitely. yeah, definitely one where you got to keep the concentration. Now as Hunter then starting the final sector now. You can see that white bar down the right hand side there is almost depleted. That is the amount of deployment he is getting, and of course the H means harvest, so that's how much he gains back in terms of braking things like that. That's how they recover their energy. Of course, in these hybrid cars, yeah, on a bit of a traditionalist, I do prefer like having the V10s and V8s. But as you can see, Hunter almost, and he is right up there. Look at that. We got Force India 1-2 at the moment as the McLaren comes out of NWBB. As we've only got one McLaren in this race as well, unfortunately. So we've only got a 15-car grid. So hopefully they all make it through turn 1. So, but Hunter is at a 10th off Nigel at the moment. That's a great time from Hunter, of course. He's the championship leader at the moment, so so he's now got a target on his back, hasn't he? He is the man to beat. As you can see, oh, we got a bit of a queue in the pit lane. It's both Mercedes. What about Gorilla now? He comes across the line and goes 7th fastest at the moment, so he's the slowest of the runners so far, but only just 900ths of a second off Bilton. Sorry, I read that wrong. He's a second off Bilton at the moment, so yeah, I think that there'll be more to come from Broke Gorilla. Southie in the pits. NWBB is now just starting his, well, he's on his outlap at the moment in the McLaren. As you can see at the moment, he's got a bit of hers on, so because usually I turn it off when I'm going around on my outlap. Well, even though there's clouds look menacing, there's been no rain in this qualifying session, or we're going to have rain in the race. That's going to be that's going to get everyone's attention, isn't it? I don't think I think in terms of the rain, though, everyone's starting on the super soft tyres, so I believe that if there was rain, especially at the start of the race, then they would have all gone on the ultra soft. Because remember, if there's a change in weather condition, then you'll have to start on the inters or wets. And now NWBB starts his lap now. Of course, this is his second race in this series. Second race racing in ALR, and now coming to turn 1 and 2. You can see, as I mentioned earlier, how narrow is that track going down to turn 1? It's a pinch point. So yeah, we've got to keep our eyes on that one. So at the moment, then we got 4.5 minutes to go. We've got a couple of guys in the pits out at the moment. We got Gorilla out there at the moment. So I think he'll be coming back in the pits and put on a fresh set of boots if he's got a spare set of boots. Anyway, of course, everyone gets a fresh set of tyres to encourage everyone to go out at least once. Is yeah, Southie coming out now as well, as is Grillsy. Both those two haven't made a time yet, and I think that so the pressure's on them. They're only going to get one run, maybe two, but these ultra softs are not very good on the second lap, so it's really one and done. NWBB now going through turn 10 into the final sector now. You can see then he's still got plenty of deployment left. I love that helmet, by the way, cracking helmet from NWBB. Is coming into these final sectors. Very technical, the final sector is here in France, and to be honest, it's very frustrating as well, especially you haven't got a balanced car. And remember, all these guys do their own setups and everything like that, so it's just amazing how they tweak their setups and how they get it right. Because yeah, I'm struggling to set the car. As NWBB goes fast, it's on a 1:29.8. Good stuff. That is 0.4 of a second in front of Nigel, so that's knocked Force Indias off the front row at the moment. How is Nigel and Hunter going to respond? Because he's just starting up. Southie's out there as well, but I think he's just on an outlap at the moment. So Grillsy though is also on an outlap as well, but he's going to start his lap now. His teammate is in 5th position on Asdog, who set the pace earlier on in the session. So we've got 3 minutes to go then into turn 1 and 2. Ooh, very close there. Did he? I don't think he track extended though, because he's still on it at the moment. I keep thinking he's going to go off into where I think Grosjean had an accident there, didn't he? In qualifying, I think I can't remember, to be honest, because World Cup was on, and yeah, it got a bit messy. As so we've got the flying sector 3. I think it's someone just getting out of the way. So Grills are coming, lovely long camera shot here, but you can see, look how confusing it is. I must admit, I remember getting lost down when I first was practicing on this track on time trial. I got lost a couple of times going down there, and because yeah, there's so many ways. There's so many ways to go through that chicane. Really, obviously, there's only one proper way. As we've got yellow flag in sector 1, so we've got everyone out on track at the moment. Everyone is out on track, so they're all going for it. They're all going for pole position. This is what a top 10 shootout should be about. Lovely halo cam here, and of course I think Grillsy there is just winding up to start another lap, so I think he might have invalidated his lap there, which is unfortunate. So now we're going to go behind as Grillsy. He didn't invalidate his time, so I think he just felt like it wasn't a good lap. So he's on a 35. He's got one more chance. Well, he could technically have 2, but I think he's got one more chance. As you see, Southie's ran out of ERS there, but he's only 7th at the moment. Is he going to be happy with that? Can he go faster, Southie? He's got time for one more run. Can he, as the tyre's got life though? That's the question. As MWBB is still in the pits. He's happy with his time, isn't he? He doesn't. Does he think that? And Asdog's gone up to 3rd. So I apologize, I missed that. But Asdog flying up into 3rd position. He is the top Mercedes at the moment. Hunter is out there. Murphy now coming around the final corner now, just sitting behind the driver's eye view here, and he is coming in the pit. So that's Murphy's qualifying session done and dusted. Shame. Hoping that I think Murphy would like to have been right in there, right in the fight. We're on board with Hunter now as he comes across the line to start us. No, I think that was a lap. He's 3/10 off at the moment, and he at the moment is 4th. He's got time for one more run. There's a Ferrari, I think, that's coming across the line as well. And he's starting his lap as well. As Grillsy then is coming to the end of his lap. Of course, all these guys, it's a no-brainer really. All these guys will be on the ultra soft tyres. And now Grillsy coming through the final couple of corners. And look at this. What does he do? He comes across the line and he goes 10th fast at the moment. No, he don't. He's 3rd, sorry. 3rd fastest for Grillsy. He is just in front of his teammate. Look how close as NWBB retires, so he's very happy with his qualifying performance. Look how close the 2 Mercedes are. Mercedes are looking a very fine team now, aren't they? Nigel has called it a day as well, unfortunately, so it'll be NWBB and Nigel, the 2 guys that made their debut last time out in Canada, are on the front row. Asdog comes into the pits. What is Hunter doing? Murphy, of course, and Steve's way out in the wildlife there. Southie, unfortunately, only had one time there and was a Bilton is on a lap in the Toro Rosso. As is Broke Gorilla. Looks like Broke Gorilla didn't have any fresh set of boots, so he's now done 3 laps on this. So Bilton at the moment is 9th. He would like to be a bit higher than that. What's he done? He's gone up to 7th at the moment. Displaces Steve and Southie. So Southie's down to 10th now. So we've got Williams at the moment on the 5th row, so Williams sharing that 5th row. Mercedes and Hunter has gone up to 2nd. Hunter up into 2nd now, and he is just in front of Nigel, so he is right in there, isn't he? Hunter, of course, is the championship leader, and he is basically in the 2nd best position, which is 2nd. And so Hunter, great time then. So that is it from qualifying. What about Broke Gorilla? Is he going to be able to improve his time? I think he's on an in lap. He is on an in lap. So that's it from France. In terms of qualifying anyway, because we've got a race to come now. Tell you what, that's a great lap from Hunter. He, the only one to get into the 129 so is NWBB in the McLaren. Of course, it's his first full-time drive this weekend, but he looked very good in the Sauber, didn't he, last time out? And yeah, here he's looking very comfortable as well. But tell you what, I don't think it's all over though. You cannot bet against Nigel, of course, who won his debut race in Canada. Of course, Hunter won the first ever race of this series of ALR in Australia with a brilliant drive, kept out of no penalties, and really just kept it out of trouble, and that's how he got his first win. So that's qualifying done then. So this is how they're going to line up on the grid then from top 10. It's 3/10 was 2nd between NWBB and Hunter. Then it's Nigel who is 3rd, looking very good. Nigel is Grillsy in making his debut 4th, with an excellent 4th for Grillsy. We've got both Mercedes right nip and tuck. Look how close the Mercedes are. They've both got exactly what they need to out of the car there. Murphy is in 6th position, Bill to Matt 7th, Steve 8th, Ninth is Southie, Southie, yeah, in the second debutant in the Williams, and Broke Gorilla is 10th in the other Williams, which means that Williams are 9th and 10th. As we're just waiting for the cars to get lined up and ready to go then here in France. So it's unfortunate we've only got 15 drivers at the moment, but of course we are aiming to expand the league, having maybe 2 divisions as well in the future when Formula 1 2019 comes out. A lot of ideas being passed around, of course there's potentially F2 on there, so we could do a lot of cool stuff with that. I think a lot of leagues will be definitely interested in doing all sorts of stuff, so yeah, good. This is looking good for the future, but here and now this is looking excellent for a great race. I mean, who's going to win? I can see at least 4 or 5 drivers that has a chance of winning, and all these guys got a chance of getting points. So we will start the formation up. So as the lights are green, and away we go for the formation lap here at Paul Ricard. So let's just go through the field then. So we've got Godzilla, unfortunately made an early exit in qualifying, but he will be starting on the super soft tyre. Well, everyone's starting on the super soft tyre. Excuse me, everyone's starting on the super soft tyre apart from Broke Gorilla. Crazy Hitman making his debut, so his first race start. I wonder if he's going to be nervous. Then we got Gunnar in 13th position. Double is 12th. 11th is Mr. Elite. 10th is Broke Gorilla, is in the Williams. Then just in front of Broke Gorilla is another debutant, as Southie in the Williams. Steve is 8th, which got a disqualification there for Broke Gorilla and Hitman. Steve is 8th. Bilton is 7th. We got Dan Murphy in 6th position. Asdog 5th in the second Mercedes. Then in the lead Mercedes is Grillsy, another debutant here in the Mercedes, looking very good as well. Then we got Nigel, who is 2nd. He is the 2nd at Force India. Then we got Hunter, who is the championship leader. He is on the front row of the grid. Just behind though, NWBB making his got his first pole position there. Yeah, got his first pole position there. Sorry, just making a quick note there to add it to yeah. So yeah, coming around the final corner. This is a very slow formation lap here. As we've got another disqualification. Bill says has been disqualified. They haven't been disqualified from the race, don't worry about that. They've just been disqualified from the formation lap. So here they go then. We got a McLaren, the only McLaren in this race. We got the 2 Force Indias, then the 2 Mercedes. Then we got the Haas driver of Dan Murphy. Unfortunately, the only Haas driver of this. No, yeah, sorry. Godzilla is 15th. His teammate. Apologies, Godzilla. Hopefully have a longer spell in the race than he did in qualifying. As now everyone is just lining up. Now here is Godzilla on board with it now. Nice helmet from Godzilla. As I keep saying every week, I do love a good helmet. And so he is 15th at the moment. But yeah, anything can happen. And I think that Godzilla is a very consistent performer, and hopefully he'll be liking to get some points. And hopefully we'll have a good camera angle in a minute. Yes, here we go then. Beautiful camera angle here. We've got 5 sets of lights on. When they go out, it will be racing, and it's away we go. Good start from NWBB. Hunter got a bit bogged down there, which means that Nigel is now coming up alongside Hunter. Is he going to go for it? He has a look, and Hunter, they're giving him a lovely bit of space there. We've got both Mercedes side by side as well. We've got Mercedes running wide there. We've got Renault going wide there as well. They've all made it through. Very well behaved from the whole field. Excellent stuff. Whoa, and the 2 Renaults now come together. That we might have, is there in contact? I see a bit of debris coming off there on one of the Williamses, I believe. And whoa, getting very, very feisty there. As now Bilton, who is struggling. Oh, was that Southie and Steve are getting a bit close, and then we've got the Renault who's right on it. Mr. Elite is going on the inside, it's going on the outside, going down the back straight, and he'll be on the outside of the corner for as Hunter has dropped down the third. The championship leader has dropped down the third, but we're staying with this battle here. Southie goes very wide in the Williams, and now Steve's going. Oh, we got contact there between Elite and Steve. But now, I don't think Steve's got any damage though, so he is going to plough on now, and he's got a good run on Southie. Southie is staying on the inside. This is going to be... And Asdog's out! Asdog's out. We've got both Mercedes out of the race. Unfortunately, we've missed that, but is that, I think... It's the treacherous, as doubles at the back of the field, it's the treacherous turn, but that's both Mercedes out of the race. Sorry we missed that, guys. Hopefully we'll get to see what happened. Oh dear, that's not great at all then, as we're on board with Broke Gorilla, who is in, he's the only man on the Ultrasoft tires. NWB, he sets the fast out because of, obviously he's the first one to go through now. But wow, what a good start. It's going to say that there, we've got 3-second penalty already for Hitman. So now Southie is in 6th position at the moment. Bilton's up into 4th. Great stuff from Bilton. Let's just take a look at the actual grid positions, won and lost. So Southie up 3. As is Bilton. So brilliant stuff from that. The both Mercedes are the big losers though. I can't believe they're both out. Hopefully we'll find out what happens to that, both in a minute. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that yeah, that's such a shame for both Mercedes. They were looking so good in qualifying, so that is a big shame for the Mercedes drivers. As we're now watching Bilton here at the moment. So Bilton is right. Dan Murphy's right on his tail now because. Is he going to have a look at Bilton? He is a bit too far back at the moment. We've also got Southie and Steve very close together as well. So unfortunately, I think this is where the Mercedes lost it, just around there. I couldn't see on the inside where they were, but yeah, I'm just guessing there at the moment because unfortunately I haven't been given any information. And Steve going very close, and we've got Crazy Hitman who's in front of Gooner now. It's the battle for the final points positions is heating up around here, isn't it? Incredible stuff. And you see the front three are kind of starting to get away now, but Bilton is still hanging on in there, and WBB has got a lead of 2 seconds at the moment, looking very comfortable out there at the moment. Nigel second, third is Hunter, Bilton fourth. Murphy has dropped back from Bilton, so maybe he's just cooling the car, just trying to save tires, save some mirrors, and have another crack. Whoa! In this South again, a 3-second penalty. They're going right off the track in the Williams. So Southie now in 6th position. We've got Steve in 7th position. Broke Gorilla is 8th and is under attack from Mr. Elite. I thought that he was going into the back of Broke Gorilla there, and look at it, because Broke Gorilla is on the ultra soft tire, so he will be starting to struggle now, because those ultra softs don't last very long around here. As Mr. Elite now, is he going to turn up the errors and have a go? He is on maximum attack now. He's on maximum attack, going. As we've got a couple of guys that are Lionel Stern as well, so we got all sorts going on down here, and Mr. Elite just touching behind. And now Dan Murphy again looking very, very strong. Of course, Dan Murphy used to be known as Remy. He is now Dan Murphy. Goes there, the King, and gets a 3-second penalty. And whoa! Sorry, that was Dan having a look at Bilton there. So at the moment, no change of position there, which is quite surprising because it was looking very heavy. Look at that Renault right on the inside. We've got a yellow flag. Safety car. We've got a safety car. Godzilla is out of the race. We've got a safety car here, and I'm missing all the action, ain't I? Blimey. It's Godzilla is out of the race, unfortunately, and I think he's gone into turn 12 as well. So safety car. Who's going to come in the pits? Is it too early to come in the pits? I think it is at the moment. There's a double coming in the pits, and unfortunately he's got no end in the pits. Sorry, he's just been got a drive penalty for speeding under the safety car. So yeah, what did I say in qualifying? It's quite hard to get. It's quite hard to hit something. Well, apart from that turn 10 is now into the pits comes Broke Gorilla. That is definitely a no-brainer, isn't it? Because he's going to the super soft tyre. So I think those look like yellow tyres to me. And there's a Red Bull of Crazy coming out of the pits now. So we've got a safety car here in France. Because it's a full safety car, these guys will catch back up quite quickly. Broke is on the super soft tyre. on the soft tyre, as we've got a Marshall's arm there, as is a Hitman. So Hitman is on the soft tyre, super soft tyre for Broke Gorilla. We're down to 12 runners, unfortunately. I think Godzilla hit the wall in turn 10. It was around this area here, so safety car at the moment. So that was Bunsen Field right up. So NWBB is leading from Nigel 2nd, Hunter 3rd, Bilton 4th, Murphy 5th, 6th is Southie, 7th is Steve, 8th is Mr. Elite, 9th is Gooner, 10th position is Double, 11th is Hitman, and at 12th is Broke Gorilla. We have got 3 retirements already on lap 4. It's Grillsy and Asdog both out of the race, unfortunately. So that's both Mercedes, who is right up there in the thick of the action, but they're out. As is Godzilla the King as well, which yeah, I think he had a bit of a rotten day, Godzilla has, unfortunately. Struggled in qualifying and didn't get really much running in qualifying. Then in the race as well, he's already had to hit the showers. Look how close it. As Twan is predicting that NWBB is going to get 10 straight wins and win the championship. Possibly. He's a quick looking driver, but I'm sure that Nigel is going to have something to say about that, as is Hunter. So then, well, that's our safety car is coming at a good time for me, actually, because I can take a breath and get back on it. As so the safety car is going a bit slower on there. So at the moment then we've got, it's too early to pit, I think, as that's a 5-second stop and go, because there's a severe collision at the back with Crazy Hitman, and Double's in the pits. Oh, so yes, so that's a stop. Has he damaged his front wing, Hitman has? I think he might have done. So at the moment Red Bull leading the constructors at the moment, but unfortunately they've only got 1 participant in this race, and that is Hitman making his debut. But he might be in a bit of trouble there, and I think he's damaged his front wing as well. Double is in and out now, so he's on the super soft tyre as well. So he was near the back anyway, so he had nothing to lose by going on the super soft tyre. So he might be, it's going to be a little, yeah, he's going to be a bit quick after this safety car. Bearing in mind though that the other guys have been on 4 lap road tyres as well, so yeah, it's not going to be a huge amount of difference. The man that might struggle to get warm up is a Hitman. So we're just watching Double, and we're on board now with Broke Gorilla in the Williams. His teammate is in 6th at the moment. Oh, I see. I'm wondering if NWBB might actually be newbie. Well, I might have to ask him a bit later on what his gamer tag is. Everyone knows how bad I am at pronouncing names and things anyway. As we're just watching the Williams out. Look how close they're getting here. Very keen at the moment. As you can see, they're all weaving around. It looks like they're just having a bit of fun, but they're trying to get some tyre temperature into the. As we've got race control has just informed us that the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. It looks like they're just having a bit of, and we've got a 5-second stop go penalty because Bill Matt is gone into the back of Hunter. I'm not sure if has he got damage to his front wing. He has, you know, and that's going to really affect Bilton on this start. That is a shame. We've got a 5-second stop go penalty. We've got a lot of severe crashes going on in under the safety car period, and yeah, Bilton has damaged his front wing there. That is not good at all for Bilton. As NWBB now is leading the chase. He becomes the safety car basically, so he controls the pace. No one can overtake him until the safety car line. So the safety car line, I think, is just before the end. I think it's just after the final corner, isn't it? I believe. And anyway, he comes now. Here we go. He accelerates away. DRS has now been enabled, but Bilton has to come in the pits because of his damage front wing. So we got NWBB leads Nigel 2nd, 3rd is Hunter, Dan Murphy up to 4th, Southie 5th, 6th is Steve, 7th is Mr. Elite, 8th is Gooner, 9th is Broke, 10th is Double, 11th is Bilton, who's in the pits, and also we've got the Red Bull in as well. So he has got a 5-second stop and go penalty. Broke has got and Bilton in as well for and he's gone on to the auto soft tyre, so we're expecting some flying laps from him. Now just trying to get the front wing on right now, so he comes out of the pits because unfortunately the Toro Rosso is being a bit famous for having these pit lane glitches at the moment, and Bilton was of course affected by that in Canada, unfortunately, and robbed a point. As he comes out of the pits now, So he's on the ultra soft tires, as is the Red Bull behind him of Crazy Hitman. So yeah, that's unfortunate. So what's happening? So newbie then has got a 3-second penalty for Crazy Hitman. So I think he must have cut the corner at turn 2. So at the moment then, there's 9 tenths of a second between NWBB and Nigel. So as Hunter is just back, he's a second back from the 2 guys up in front. He's now 2 seconds back. Southie is in 4th position at the moment. Good drive from Southie. He's the top rookie at the moment. Steve is in 5th. Mr. Elite is in 6th position, but is under pressure from Broke Gorilla in the Williams. And I think the Broke Gorilla is actually the first of the men who have stock, so he could come into play later on in this race. As he's in 7th position. We've got Gooner in 8th in the Renault. The Irishman doing a solid job there, and him and Mr. Elite are very well equal in performance, aren't they? Good stuff. Then we've got Double in 9th position and at 10th position at the moment, and complete the top 10 is Murphy. What happened to Murphy? Is he coming to the pits? I'm not sure what happened to Murphy there. As Double's back in the pits again. There's all sorts going on here in France. I'm missing a lot of stuff as well. Sorry about this, guys, but Murphy has dropped down to 9th for some reason. And yeah, I think I had a bit of a Murray Walker moment there, didn't I? It took me a while to realise where Murphy had gone. Unfortunately for Murphy, I'm not sure what happened now. Hopefully we'll get some details on that in a moment. But Hunter's now coming under pressure from Southie. He's a brilliant. This guy has got a lot of pace, hasn't he, Southie? And Hunter's going to come under attack at the moment. Hunter is leading the championship by 31 points from Knowlesy and 32 points from Murphy. But Murphy's now down to 9th. Knowlesy is not in this race, and yeah, so at the moment it's getting very tight up in the front at the moment. So yeah, and they're coming down the hill now, down into turn 10. And it's just 5 tenths of a second away. Gooner is now right on the back of Broke Gorilla as well. Broke Gorilla has dropped behind Mr. Elite at the moment. As Southie now is just taking that corner wider than I think that might be his racing line, to be honest. The gap is up at the front. It's almost up to 2 seconds now. It is up to 2 seconds between NWBB and Nigel. Whereas those guys look like to be in a class of 1 at the moment. But how is strategy going to play out? As we think everyone's going to be on a 1-stop, going from the super soft to the soft tyre. As NWBB gets as NWBB, and into the pits comes the Southie. So Southie is in the pits quite early in the Williams. So Mr. Elite goes up to the 5th, but this is a good day to score points. Southie goes on to the super soft tyre, so he's definitely going to stop at a second time then. So basically that just shows that I know nothing about strategy, and he's going for a 2-stop here. Double's going to come across the finish, coming across the line now. Murphy though making his way back out through the field after mysteriously dropping down. So Southie out in 9th position. Let's see how much pace he's got. Double is 10th at the moment and in the final point scoring position, but we've got Bilton who is in 11th at the moment in the Toro Rosso. As I'm getting a comment to look at my message. Hang on a minute, I will in a second. Bilton is now in 11th position at the moment, and Crazy is in 12th position. 1 second. Twan's asking if you can join the session. Yeah, go for it. I don't think I can invite you though, because I'm in spectator mode. So hopefully if someone else is able to invite you, then that'd be great stuff. I don't know if you can join, because it's probably invite only. As we're just watching the leaders now at NWBB. As I think Asdog and Grizzly and Grillsy just spoke to each other, and it looks like it was just a racing incident, unfortunately. So, but that's both Mercedes out quite early on in this race, because there's a first lap collision. So it's really unfortunate for the Mercedes drivers. Nigel is second at the moment, trying to keep up with NWBB at the moment. NWBB looking very comfortable in the McLaren. Hunter, the championship leader, is in 3rd at the moment. Steve is making his way quietly up into 4th position. Then we've got Mr. Elite in 5th. 6th position is Broke Gorilla. 7th is Gooner. 8th position is Murphy. 9th position is Southie. He's just got a 3-second penalty for running wide. And in 10th position at the moment is Double. As so Double. And then we got the two elite guys. Well, no, they could be elites. But anyway, yes, but Bilton is on the ultra soft tyre in the 11th position, and Hitman 12. Those two are not getting points at the moment. There's a lovely onboard shot of Hitman, of course, also making his debut as well. This is a tough race to debut on this French track, but as I said, you either love it or hate it. I'm not really a fan of this track personally, but you know, I'm not going to be biased. As we're on board NWBB as at the moment, then they're all starting to spread out a bit now. But we got Ferrari looking very strong at the moment. We got one in 4th, one in 10th, Steve in 4th, double in 10th, but he will become an attack in a minute. Double will from Bilton, who is on the ultra soft tyre. We got Mr. Elite in 5th, doing a good job for Renault. Broke Gorilla is looking very strong in this race as well. Finally, hopefully he's put his bad luck to one side. As you can see, he went from super soft to, it's incredible how he changed his tyres while still staying out there. Hunter's got a 3-second penalty. These penalties will come into play very soon in the later stages of the race. Lap 10 out of 27 then around Paul Ricard. You see he's back on the super soft, then he's on the super soft. Good stuff from Gorilla. He's a very talented man, and he's so talented he can change his tyres when he's out on the track. I bet that's going to come in handy, isn't it? On board now with Broke, as he is a second and a half away from Elite. There's Gunnar in 7th. Murphy is now catched up to the back of these guys in the Haas. He mysteriously dropped right down to near the back of the field for some unknown reason, which is a shame, because Murphy is right in there. He would be in 4th at the moment, 4th, 5th. He'd be in between Hunter and Stee, I believe. But yeah, Murphy unfortunately had a bit of a mysterious, well, I think it might have been a spin or something. So Gunnar in 6th, but Murphy is now then homing in on Gunnar for 7th position in the second of the Renaults. Renaults are very well placed in 5th and 7th position, looking good in the Constructors' Championship. Southey is in 9th at the moment. Southey is, it looks like he might be the only man apart from, and Crazy's out. Unfortunately, Crazy's out of the race. He's made his debut as well, but I think unfortunately he is out, and I think as we got Gunnar. Steve is in the pits now, as yeah, Steve's in the pits now and coming out now. He's on the soft tyre, so he's going to try and go to the end, I believe, as he's going to come out just in front of his teammate. And whoa, look at that, Southey, a bit of a drift there, Formula Drift. Unfortunately it's the wrong sport, and getting very leery there. I think the Southey's on 2-stop strategy here, and Godzilla has left the session. Of course, he was the man that brought out the safety car, and caused a bit of chaos beyond the safety car. Really, there was all sorts going on. We had a lot of penalties for major incidents, even though I didn't really see the major incident. So we're down to 11 cars now in this French Grand Prix out of the 15 started. As we're watching Steve now, who's just come out of the pits. As the gap, you can see we've got a couple of gaps now between the guys. Murphy's not really closing in on Gunnar as quick as I thought he would. Gunnar's having a very strong race. Both Renaults are, as I said again. So good stuff from the Renault boys. Good stuff from hopefully Williams as well. At the moment, I think Williams will leapfrog Ferrari in the constructors, and they'll go up to 9th position. So because unfortunately Williams and Ferrari at the moment in the constructors are a little detached from the bottom. Murphy is now, as Nigel's in the pits. So Nigel in the pits, he's going on the soft tyre, and he might be going to the end of this race. He's going to try the undercut, but I think he's too far back from NWBB to cause him any particular issues. Remember, Gorilla has not, as of course Gorilla has stopped, and he's on fresher set of super soft tyres, and he's right up there in 4th position at the moment. Well, 3-second penalty for Gunnar, who's gone wide. Nigel comes out in at 6th position in the Force India. Southey is in 7th position. Look how close Southey is to Nigel. So you can see that the undercut is quite strong around here, isn't it? And of course Southey will have to make another stop, but if he's got the pace, then this could be good. Oh, excuse me. Triple some water. Steve at the moment is in 8th in the Ferrari. Double is 9th, and Bilton is 10th as Murphy is come into the pits and changed onto the super soft tyre, and he is now probably going to be on a 2-stop strategy as well. Question is the soft run is going to go to the end? So that's Steve, that's Nigel. We're on board with NWBB in the McLaren, the orange McLaren. Of course, a bit of a retro livery for McLaren, isn't it? And he's in the pits. So look how tight this pit entrance is. You can easily crash in there. And whoa! Hunter's lost it. Hunter's lost it. He's had a spin. He's gone off. This is definitely going to cost him a couple of positions. As unfortunately, Hitman had to, and Hunter's got a 10-second penalty. I think that was a bit of rage from Hunter. And I thought that NWBB was getting, as Broke Gorilla's going to lead this race. So Broke Gorilla leads the French Grand Prix here in Paul Ricard. As Nigel is now 3rd. Southie is 4th. Remember, Southie has already made a stop, but I think he's going to have to come in. Steve is 5th. Hunter is, and we've got both Reynolds in the pits. That is a big disaster for the Reynolds. And unfortunately, there's a problem with Mr. Elite. Mr. Elite's out now. Into the pits comes Gunnar. That is such a shame for and there's a new wing as well ready for Gunnar. That is going to throw Gunnar right out of contention. As Murphy is 9th. Is just behind Hunter now. Hunter made a major mistake there, the championship leader. That, well, as we said earlier on in the show, it's not going to lose in the championship, but this might be bad long term for his championship chances. Murphy is 9th, but that's unfortunate for Gunnar. Both Renault guys coming in on the same lap. That's not good. That's not good at all. So Gunnar is now right out of contention. Look at that. He's lost almost 20 odd seconds and is down to 11th and outside the points at the moment. Renault's on such a strong race. As NWBB is now all over the back of Broke Gorilla. Broke Gorilla, is he going to go on the outside? He's on the outside, and what a move! Of course, remember though, Broke Gorilla has got 9-lap old super soft tyres. As unfortunately, Crazy Hitman had to retire because something come up. So that's unfortunate for Crazy. Hopefully, we'll see him in a week's time in Austria. But yeah, good move from NWBB. But to be fair, there is the soft tyre, the super soft tyres on Broke Gorilla. Are probably past his best now, but Broke Gorilla was leading for a lap here in France, looking very strong. I think he's going for the well, he's already done the stop, so he's going for an alternative wet stop basically. So Broke Gorilla is down to 2nd. Nigel is now next. On Broke Gorilla's next on his radar to get by, and at the moment he is at 3rd. Selfie is doing a good job as well. And 4th is Evil Hunter, and Double Cream Cat having Double Cream Cat getting passed by Hunter there. Hunter is got a 10-second penalty, and he's gone a bit wide there as well. So that 10-second penalty could hurt him later on this race. So remember, he's already got a couple of 3-second penalties as well. Dan Murphy is now coming up to the back of Double as well. Double is on 9-lap old super soft tyres. As Bilton is in the pit, and he comes back out, and he's also on the ultra softs again. So yeah, and he's out in front of Gunnar. Gunnar is right down in 11th position. Unfortunately, that was just poor timing, isn't it, for the Renault boys? So as Nigel's now all over the back of, and Murphy's now also all over the back of Double. Nigel there, you see, that was the place where NWBB overtook brilliantly earlier on. And looks like Nigel's on the super soft. No, he's on the soft tire. Sorry. Yeah, it looks like he's on the. He's on the screen. Looks like he's on super soft tires. That's getting very close. Nigel doing very well because, of course, you can't see your front wing very well, and these cars have broke now. Comes into the pit, and he's on a 2nd set of tires. As Nigel now up in 2nd, Selfie is up in the 3rd, and doing a good job. Selfie is, isn't he, in the Williams? Of course, he's on 2-stop strategy. Well, we'll have to stop again because he's only used 1 type of tyre. Remember, in this in Formula 1 world, you have to use 2 types of compounds. So either the so he's used the super soft, so he's got to use either the soft or the ultra soft. As we've got a couple of places going on. Doubles now behind Elites as out comes Gorilla. who that felt like a very long stop there for Gorilla, but you can see he's got a clear track in front and behind. Is Bilton is 46 seconds away from, again 46 seconds away. He's out coming down to 22 now. So Broke Gorilla's on the soft tire, and he's going to go to the end of the race now. That should be doable in the Williams, so he's in points already. Can he now move himself up in, keep himself there? Double is in 7th position mode. He is on the oldest tire life, on 10 lap tires. Murphy is 6th position. We'd like to know what happened with Murphy, unfortunately, because he's right down there. Of course, we've seen what happened to Hunter. He had a bit of a spin earlier. And Southie at the moment is in 4th position, looking very strong, isn't he, Southie? So looking very good. This young man in the Williams. Both Williamses, of course, in the points at the moment, and that's desperately what they need. Look at that! I thought the car was trying to go off there. As Southie now comes across, of course, Steve is just behind. Steve doing he's one of those drivers that is very consistent, and he goes under the radar, and he always pops up in roundabouts where he needs to be to get some decent points. So at the moment, Steve's on 12 points. Beautiful camera, a beautiful aerial shot here. If you can see those distinctive red and blue lines there, of course, that marks the AstroTurf. Double is in the pits in the Ferrari. He's in the pits, and so Double having a very clean race at the moment. Good stuff from Double. He's going to be, I think Broke Gorilla's going to get in front of him here. It's getting very dark all of a sudden out there. Very dark. Hopefully we don't have any rain on this, but look at that, it's gone very overcast here in Paul Ricard. As Bilton's out in 10th, Gunnar is 11th, and Double comes out in 12th position, but he's on the super soft tyre. I think he was on the super soft tyre before, so he's done 4 laps on these tyres already. So I think he's going to have to pit again as well on lap 16. I would have gone to the soft tyre from there, but Double's a racer, isn't he? And he knows what he's doing in the Ferrari at the moment, and he would like to get in front of Gunnar for that final championship point if he could. NWBB is looking peerless at the moment, isn't he? 6 seconds in front of Nigel. We've got 10 laps to go. Well, it was looking dark, but the sun seems to be breaking through the clouds again, so I don't think Twine can get in the session, unfortunately, to watch it, but you can always watch it on but Twine, you can always watch it on the YouTube. Very welcome to keep watching this. It's going to be a thrilling end, I think, because we've got a couple of different strategies out there at the moment, and Southie is made a mistake, I think. He's dropped down to 4th. It feels like he's recovering, so it looks like he must have had a half spin in turn 2, and you can see he's lining up the rears there. As those tyres gone, now only done 9 laps, but you can see he's really fighting the car now. Southie is. Steve is now up into 3rd position, and he's on the podium. Of course, he's had a couple of DNFs. Steve has, but when he has finished, he's finished in the points. So Southie has dropped down to 4th position. Hunter is 5th. Murphy is 6th. They're all spread out at the moment. Elite is 7th. Yeah, Twan says he's very welcome to watch it. Of course you are, Twan. Of course, my mate in the comms box back in Bahrain, and unfortunately, we can't wait to see Twan back out there and getting back on with racing. As soon as the steering wheel's fixed, I'm sure he'll be well in the mix to get in the mix for points, maybe even podiums as well. As Mr. Elite there. In 8th position, Broke Gorilla is in 9th. He'll be going to the end of the race now. Bilton on the ultra soft tyre is 10th. I think we'll have to stop again, Bilton. He's already done 3 laps on this tyre. Is Gunnar 11th, and Double is 12th. So we're coming up to complete lap. Well, unfortunately, someone's come up there at lap 18 then. We're on lap 18 now then, so Nigel is still 6 seconds behind. I think the NWBB has this well, I wouldn't say in the bag as such, because remember what anything can happen in this sport, and it usually does. Southie is in the pits. He is gone onto the soft tyre, and that will guarantee him to go to the end now. I wonder if ultra soft would have been a bit of a stretch from here on, but well, he's dropping. So he will be out in 7th position in front of his teammate. But he should have the pace now and should have the legs on Mr. Elite, who's now back up into 6th position. Murphy is in 5th position, and Southie's gone right off the track there. Now, it'll probably be a warning. we got rain, I think. Have we got rain? Yes, we have got rain. That's poor timing for Southie. He's just come out of the pit. And I think we got rain. Yes, we have got rain. It's not me. There's definitely rain in the air. So, as I said, everything can happen in this race, and it usually does. And, yeah. So, is it going to be enough to cause these drivers any issues? Are they going to have to come in and change their tyres? When is the changeover point going to happen? And look at that. We're already slipping and sliding now from NWBB. It's not ready yet for... It's not ready yet. As Twan says, the weather gods are amazing. They definitely are. So this is going to be interesting. The last couple of laps of this race. So is someone going to take a gamble and go onto the intermediate tyres? A couple of people can do it to great effect. NWBB gets a 3-second penalty there. As at the moment it's only light rain. It's only light rain, so it's not going to affect the drivers as much yet. This track will become greasy quite quickly. You can see there, it's Hunter at the moment 4th, Murphy is 5th. We're dropping away Murphy at the moment from Hunter. He's 10 seconds back. Elite is 5th position. Southie is in 7th position. To be honest, so depends on. I did say that Southie came in the wrong time, but it does depend on how heavy this rain will be. Is it to actually cause a problem or not? Then we've got Broke Gorilla in 8th, 9th position is Bilton, and 10th is Gooner. Double is 11th at the moment. Of course, we only have 15 cars in this race, unfortunately today, as of course it's Easter and everything. We wasn't expecting a big turnout today, but hopefully we'll have our some more competitors next week. And yeah, hopefully, but we have had a couple of decent, as we're watching one of them now, a couple of decent debutants. In this race, we've had a couple of decent debutants in all the series, really, haven't we? We've had, of course, NWBB made his debut in Canada, was on fire. Nigel also made his debut in Canada as well and won that race in fine style. Nigel's going to jump quite high up in the championship, because he was quite high up anyway. I think he went up to 8th in the championship. As Southie, and he's only done one race, as Southie is now starting to home in on Mr. Elite. It's still not wet out. It's not wet out. Sorry, it's not wet out there for the intermediate tyres at the moment. The question is, on lap 20, there's about 8 laps. There's 8 laps to go in this race. Is NWBB looking a lot more comfortable in these conditions than Nigel is at the moment. Nigel's slipping down on it at the moment. The gap is now up to 8.6 seconds. So they're coming around the final corner now. As you can see that. It's still only drizzly at the moment. It's still not going to affect him yet. But Southie's 6/10 slower, but I'm not sure if that's because he's being held by Mr. Elite or if it's the track conditions. As Mr. Elite going wide, Southie going very wide as well, and coming down into turn 3 and 4 now of the first sector. This track is very interesting. This track is very elongated. So I don't think on the game it would make much difference. But in the actual Formula 1 racing, I think that because it's so elongated, it could be raining at one side of the track and completely dry on the other. Of course, it's raining all around the circuit at the moment, and Southie's going for it. He's having a look. Elite is there. Good defending from Elite there, and just didn't panic. Put the car in the right place. Beautiful stuff. But Southie has got another 3-second penalty, but he's all over the back of Mr. Elite. Mr. Elite is on 7-lap old tyres, but Southie's on 2-lap old tyres. We're getting right at that. This is going to be dangerous. Contact, with a bit of contact there. Southie's in the wall. Oh, he's out. He's out. That's a huge accident, and Southie is out of the race. Wow. Unfortunate. That is such a shame there for the Williams driver. It is greasy out there. There was a bit of contact. Oh, and there's Gorilla who's gone right off the track there. I'm not sure what happened to Gorilla there, but Southie out of the race. Gorilla almost joined his teammate in the wall as well. Bill turns up into 8th, and he is just got by Gooner, who is... Oh, Gooner's going for it. Look at that. Great move from Gooner. Oh. I'm not sure what's going on here. This is getting a bit messy. As Bilton is going back through, but look, oh dear, there's a lot of lag going on here, and they're inside each other, and I'm not sure how PG that was. And Gooner now is up into 8th position, but all sorts going on. As into the pits now comes Broke. Is he coming in on the intermediate tyres? He would be the first man to come in. he'll be the first man to go onto the inter-tires. He's only done 4 laps, so he must be going on the... no, he's going on the soft tyre, on the super soft tyre. He's lost his front wing, unfortunately. I think Bilton's in as well, but Bilton is going on. Southey's left the session. Such a shame for Southey. A great debut for the Williams driver. Grizzly has left the session. Grillsy has left the session as well. Of course, them two are very good friends. Of course, Grillsy did say that did introduce Southey to this league, and both of them two. Unfortunate, really. So we got the McLaren lapping out. So quick question, a quick thing now is that how wet is the track going to be? Is this going to is Bilton? Oh, we got a Williams right off the track there. That's this has gone pear-shaped for Broke Gorilla, and unfortunately he's out. He will get a point because yeah, what a shame. Williams were looking so good there, so he is out of the race for Gorilla. That is such a shame. So now we're going to have a look as Gorilla's left the session now. Is how is Bilton going to do on these intermediate tyres? He had enough to lose. Is he going to be able to gain now? How quickly is he going to get? You can see, look at that. We've already got a bit of water on the track. That track is definitely getting wet. So this is going to be great for the final stage of this race. As he's now Bilton there coming out of the chicane. And he is coming down into the fast at turn 10. Unfortunately, that's where he lost to Southey. He was out of the race, but great showing from Southey. Very good racing from him. It was just unfortunate. The gap is down to 17 seconds. And Bilton is the man we need to watch to see if these inters are going to pay off for him. I think the DRS is still enabled at the moment. When DRS is disabled, that's usually when it's the time to go in the pit. But as Gunner's on the inter tires as well, and I think Double's coming in on inters as well. So these guys think it's ready. So Gunner's in. So all these guys, remember, could make the jump. And yeah, DRS is now disabled. So this is when they go. This is when they ideally need to come in. So Gunner out in 7th position at the moment. Double coming out, and we got the leader in. So Bilton's already got those tire temperatures up to temperature. So he shouldn't have a problem. Nigel's in as well. Is there anyone that's going to take a gamble and stay out? Oh, and Steve there are getting very well. But Steve's in the pits then. So out of the pits then comes NWBB. So how good is your weather? How good is your wet weather driving then? This is going to be good. As Murphy is dropped down to 6th at the moment. As these guys are just tippy-toeing around because yeah, these are the last guys who are not on the inter tires at the moment. There's a 51-second gap between but look at that, look how slow these guys are going. That's how greasy it is out there. Murphy's on 10 lap and got a 3-second penalty from Nige. So Mr. Elite is now up into 5th position and 6th for Murphy because Murphy is on 10 lap tires. So everyone is now on the intermediate tires to go to the end of this race. So Mr. Elite, and then the number 66 Renault. Good stop there from the Renault mechanics. Well done. And Murphy out as well from the Haas team is doing also a quick turnaround as well. All wheels are on Haas's wagon this time. It's only usually Australia where it goes wrong, doesn't it? Mr. Elite then out of the pit in 5th position. Murphy in 6th position. I think Murphy's going to be very disappointed about today's result. But look at that track. Yeah, I don't think anyone would have even attempted to stay on the dry tires on that track. It's very wet. It's become very wet very quickly, and you can see the rain is still quite light, but the track has got damp very quickly. As Gunner is 21 seconds behind. Unfortunately, Gunner would be on the. Oh, look at that! He's slipping and sliding. Brilliant bit. That was brilliant work from Gunner there. Great car control. Bilton, who's the first man on the intermediate tyres. Great call from Bilton, and also going over that white line there could have easily lost it. Double is in 9th position in the Ferrari. Ferrari are going to score big today. Unfortunately, Williams are not. They were looking very good. Both Williams were looking very good at the beginning of this race. As you can see, the sun is appearing through. We've got very odd weather at the moment. We're just going to see if we can see a rainbow there. And WBB looks to be on his way to victory. I love that helmet from NWBB. I think I already said that, haven't I? But NWBB then looking very good. He's 11.5 seconds in front of Nigel, who is 2nd. Steve is on course for a podium in 3rd position. Great drive from Steve. He is kept it. He has kept it very, very clean. A solid drive from Steve, and a good drive as well. So this is going to jump him right up in the championship. Hunter, who is leading the championship, will still be leading the championship after this race, as his closest championship rivals are actually behind him. So of course Knowlesy is not here this week, so he is second in the championship, as Hunter slipping and sliding as well. And of course Murphy, who mysteriously went off the bubble a bit, and Murphy is now trying to keep up Mr. Elite. Mr. Elite looking very strong in this race. Great drive from Mr. Elite. Dan Murphy is 6th at the moment in the half. Gunnar 7th, Bilton 8th at double 9. So lap 24 out of 27 then. Look at, oh, now it's getting really heavy, and you see in front there's a Ferrari. That is not Steve, that is a double who's in 9th position. Ferrari are going to get some points, and this is what they need. There's a bit of oversteer there coming across the finish line. Lap 25, 3 laps to go. This rain definitely has spiced love a bit, hasn't it? As coming towards us now is NWBB. Lovely drive today. And I definitely agree with you, Twan, the NWBB driver of the day. But I'd also like to give a shout out to Steve, who's done a great job in 3rd position, and even Mr. Elite as well. Both those drivers have done really well. Double getting right away. Nice job there from the Ferrari driver. As yeah, but I think that he's just been in a class of one today, hasn't he? Nigel's done a great job in 2nd position in the Force India, and it's great to see Nigel's had a 1st and a 2nd in his ALR career so far, so that's good. So that's very good. And look, so yeah, this man is looking very strong, isn't he, in the McLaren? So 12 seconds to gap is now. 18 seconds for back is Steve. Hunter is 4th. He's now starting to cut into Steve's time, but unfortunately Hunter has a 10-second penalty plus any other penalty. So potentially Mr. Elite could go up to 4th. He's just got to, because I think Hunter's got at least 9-second worth of penalties for track extension. Then he got a 10-second penalty for go off the track, and he's got another penalty as well. So he is in the danger zone. I think Mr. Elite's got a couple as well. So this is going to be touch and go between who's going to be 3rd and 4th. Yeah, 4th and 5th. Murphy is in 6th position. He's struggling in these conditions at the moment, isn't he? He's 4 seconds back. Gunnar is 7th. 8th is Bilton, and 9th is Double. Lap 26 then. So a brilliant drive from NWBB. Absolutely stupendous. It's just been flawless, hasn't it? He's a bit of pressure from Nigel at the beginning of the race, but really had it covered, didn't he? It's been a masterclass for a drive from the McLaren driver. And yeah, this is looking really good, looking ominous as well, isn't it? So yeah, I think Hunter will be at the end of the week, I say multiple warnings there for cutting the. I think he's just weaving back and forth there to try and get some heat into the tyres, but I thought he was going into the wall then, as into the chicane now. So these guys are really well spread out now. So yeah, I think the driver of the day probably would go to NWBB, but I'm really tempted to definitely give a shout out to Mr. Elite and Steve as well. Both of those drivers have done a tremendous job today. So yeah, we've had, unfortunately, turn 10 has been the cause of a lot of incidents today. We think the Mercedes went out in turn 10. Godzilla, I think, went out in turn 10 as well, and I brought the safety car out. So the NWBB just having a bit of fun now, I think, drifting the car. Crazy Hitman had to pop off or something as he sent us a message. So unfortunate for Crazy, because he could be in the points as we're just on board with NWBB. He's just lighting up the rears there and just kind of drifting the car around there. Southie went side by side with one of the Renaults, I think it was, and unfortunately he came off worse. There was contact, banging wheels, but I think, to be honest, I think it might be a racing incident. You shouldn't really be going, as Twan said in the comments, you shouldn't really be going side by side through that turn 10 anyway, especially in the wet. So final lap now for NWBB, the final tour of France. Oh, I've got one pun in today. As you see there, he's slowing right down now. He's got this covered. 12 seconds the gap between himself and Nigel, but Nigel's had a great start to his ALR career. Of course, remember, we've changed our branding now. We are not HR Racing anymore. We are ALR. ALR. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Cracking race. It's been incident packed. There's drama in a couple of places as well. Yeah, I think this man has just been in firm control, hasn't he? And he is going to pick up his first win of his career in ALR. I think this might be McLaren's first victory as well of the season. I think it will be, because the season so far has been dominated by Red Bull, but unfortunately Red Bull has got yellow flag in sector 3. That's Bilton going off the track there. I think he just didn't want to do another lap by looks and just wanted to get himself lapped. But NWBB comes across the final corner and he wins the French Grand Prix. What a race from NWBB. Fine racing from and Bilton goes straight into the back. Great, what a win. His first win in ALR. And also and now Nigel having a cracking crash there at the end, finishing style. He's got it down to 9 seconds. So Nigel was second. In third position is Steve. Steve, who's done a very good job today, hasn't he? In the Ferrari, he's kept it out of trouble, and you see coming close to his mechanics as well. So Steve in third position. The question is, will Hunter be fourth? He comes over the line now. Remember, penalties is going to be a factor in this race. So Hunter fourth. Of course, unfortunately, had a spin there. That's gone up to 20 seconds now between himself and Elite. Might be touch and go, but Elite has had a great race today, hasn't he? Great drive from Elite. And he's coming across the line now, and he will be finishing where I think he'll probably be in fifth, because I think the gap is too big. It is. So he's only 4 seconds behind Hunter in the end. So Hunter fourth. And Murphy really struggled on that final stint, didn't he? He dropped 8 seconds back. So Murphy up into fifth position. We're watching the last man who hasn't been lapped, of Gunnar, in seventh position. Unfortunately, the Renault mechanics didn't help him out today, did they? I think he would have been right up with Mr. Elite. So he goes seventh. He goes seventh overall then. So what a race! And then 8th was Bilton, and 9th was Double, and 10th was Gorilla, who will get a point, I believe. So Williams at least gets a point then. What a win then from WBB. His first race win of ALR. Absolutely stupendous. Great stuff. McLaren's first win as well of the season. Nigel of course, this is NWBB's only second Grand Prix win. Only second Grand Prix here in this series, and what a race it was. Second for Nigel, of course. Nigel's been on the podium so far. 100% podium record for Nigel. First in Canada, second here today in France. And Steve getting some well-deserved points there. He's been unlucky in the races so far, but he's when he has finished, he has been in the points then. So then let's have NWBB wins the race, a two-stop strategy, mainly because of the weather conditions at the end. So look at that. His fast lap was almost a second and a bit quicker. He had 2 penalties. Nigel only had 1 penalty. Good consistency for Nigel. Steve comes from third, from 8th on the grid up into third. Great drawing from Steve. Hunter down to 4th. Mr. Elite up to 5th. It's going to be a tough decision, isn't it? I think Mr. Elite's done a great job today. Murphy, unfortunately, goes 6th. A mysterious spin, I think. Gunnar in 7th. Bilton is 8th. No penalty for Bilton or Double. Good stuff in there. Gorilla in 10th position then, and he will get a point. Salfi, great drive from the debutant today. Unfortunately, put it in the wall in turn 10. Crazy, also a debutant for him as well. And the Red Bull, no Red Bull scoring today in 12th position, and we got a fan for Nigel as Drum Keys is. Drum Keys has just said, let's go Nigel. What a racing, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at the French Grand Prix, and we'll see. I hope you have a good Easter. Hope you enjoy the weather as well. I hope it cools down, to be honest, but we'll see you next time in Austria. Completely different track, and to be honest, I love Austria. It's very challenging for the drivers. Looks simple, but it's challenging. See you soon.